You're good. It's rather bent.
Brand new clutch. Have to measure it, but flywheel's being machined.
Well, the story was that it got built and then sat there. That's what I thought the story was.
But I never believed those stories, Sarah.
Yeah, but that looks freshly machined.
It's had some use. Looks okay. It does look freshly machined. I would say most likely newish clutch. What's wrong with this picture?
It's stuck there.
No?
Oh, there's no spacer piece like the other guy.
There's no washer.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's in the back. Nope.
Nope, just no washer at all.
Yep, so we're missing the thrust washer right here.
It's weird how that can get forgotten. It's not stuck on there.
Nope. Well, at least the flywheel was somewhat tight. These plugs have never been removed. Today on the engine stand we have a 1974 2.7 liter 911 engine that is in to be completely rebuilt. Apparently this engine had some work done on it. Looks like the case was split. I can see traces of fresh hardware over everything and some orange Loctite, which is always a good sign. The clutch was pretty much brand new looking. Flywheel looked like freshly machined. So the story that we got behind the engine is it was rebuilt a number of years ago. Car was run for 1,500, 2,000 miles and parked. And the car is now being completely restored. So we want to go through the engine and the transmission on this one to get it up to a as new condition. So what I'm going to do this morning before I tear it down, just to make things a little bit easier on me, I'm going to smoke test the intake system. I've done this on the bench. If you've watched some of our other videos, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt because you've got to plug off all the ports. So I figured, well, this one, why don't we smoke test it on the stand before we pull everything apart. Okay, air boot coming off. Still kind of soft. Doesn't feel too horrible, but we'll clean everything up. Early throttle plate, a little bit of black around it, nothing unusual. All the hoses are rock hard, pretty much standard for one of these. Still got the very early warm-up regulator, the 001. Unlikely that this is going to be reused just because they are unrebuildable, so any changes in pressure will be a problem. So we'll run this on our newly constructed test bed. Let's find a nice vacuum port, not a lot to choose from.
Sweet up. Oh.
Great. Well, I guess it'll be okay up there.
Well, smoke will be coming out up there.
Okay, let's get some smoke happening. We got oil I can't see.
Yeah, it's in the middle, it's near the bottom.
Yeah, that's all right. It doesn't like to be overfilled. Okay. There we have it. Smoke. building pressure pretty much straight away.
That's good. I smell it. I see it.
Okay.
Every time.
As usual, our pop-off valve leaking like a sieve. These things are just garbage.
It's shooting out the bottom of it. I think it's coming out the connection, not the lid.
It's coming out of the glue in the back.
Yeah, yes, exactly, out of the...
Yeah. Excuse me.
Is there any way to repair it without getting a new box?
Not that I know how.
So he's up for a new box.
Yep. We'll quote it. It's up to him.
Oh, yeah, but it's a stream of smoke.
Yeah, I've got a little leak over here too somewhere.
Oh, I see it. Here it's coming. It could be with your thread leak again.
It's just very light. You know what?
Almost coming out.
There's so much. It's coming out over here. There's so much smoke.
If I stick my finger in it. There's a lot of smoke coming out of that.
Yeah.
So I'd say it actually passed.
Except for somebody trashed the airbox by putting a dumbass toilet seat that doesn't stop it from blowing up either. With a crappy old glue job. Yeah.
Don't do it. Nice O-ring.
I mean, it's all brand new looking. Somebody trashed an airbox for the sake of it. Okay. So what happens with old fuel lines? They snap.
Wild. It's just a lot of
Yeah,
replacement.
we're going to have to quote for all of these lines. This line's damaged.
How about your runner lines?
Yeah, I just replace it all at this point. We're going to have to, if we end up updating this, we'll need to update that anyways. So we're getting down to case level. As you can see, intakes off, fan shrouds off. A lot of stuff has been done. The heads appear to be done. They have different retainers in them. I'm a little curious to see what the stick out height is because the positioning of the valve adjuster seem to be out a lot, like the valves are sticking too far into the heads, but that's something we'll have to look at. Cams don't look bad. Looks like it's got new timing chains in it, though it looks like the case hasn't been split because we've got a split timing chain that's been wound in. And the other thing that I'm seeing, I can't turn it much, but the case is definitely out of alignment because to turn this thing over, you've got to break it free.
Wow.
So definitely feels like the case is out of alignment. Also, no time search being done on the case. Don't know what's going on with P's and C's. They could be bead blasted. They could be newer. That'll see soon enough once things get apart.
Oh, this was hard on the gasket.
And it was leaking because it's been pinched. See, it's no longer round.
Yeah, it's...
Okay, so as I suspected, this has had a top end rebuild. Heads have had machine work. Have no idea what kind of machine work. I'll have to dive deeper into it. This is off cylinder number 4. We can see pretty extensive leakage right here. The head nuts on these on bank one, cylinders 1 through 3, were so tight that took a bite out of me when it finally cracked free. I was amazed the studs didn't break. On bank 2, 4 through 6, they were all loose. So that can explain here. We can also see cylinder 4. This is the cylinder from it. Also considerable oil blow by. Pistons and cylinders look new. They obviously need to be cleaned and final check, but a quick wipe down look at them. Let's just grab this one. I mean, these things haven't seen any mileage. Still got a pretty good carbon ring up here, but nothing to be too worried about. They'll just be cleaned, and I don't even know if we would have to put new rings on them, but we'll cross that bridge. So heads need to be disassembled. Looking from here, all I can tell is yes, they've been machined. We look at one, it's got some fancy titanium type retainers on them, some different valve springs, but I have no idea what they've done in there. Head's been done several times. This is usually a work order number. This head was stamped number 5, but it's stamped number 2 by somebody else. So either they got confused or it's been apart several times. The crankcase, which is all apart. And as I was saying, with turning it, we can see we've got really significant wear on contact points on our bearings right here, our number 7 bearing, very distinct. Now, this is what you see when the case is out of alignment. I do believe the case has been split at some point, but obviously, when they had it apart, they didn't do a close and hone and realign, as we can see by the excessive wear. This bearing, it's hardly had any contact. We can see the different wear points indicating that the tunnel is tweaked, and that's what it felt rotating. It was very hard to break free. Once I broke it free and got it spinning, it wasn't that bad, but every time you let it sit for more than 10 seconds, you had to really jump on it to break it free. Quick look at the crank, and number 7's had something go through it. Need to clean it up a little bit more and get an accurate reading of it. This is literally as it came apart. Nothing looks particularly horrible. Nothing that's screaming, hey, look at me. But we still need to get all of this out, get it disassembled, get the rods off, measure everything, and go from there. If we look at our intermediate gear, don't need the dial gauge for this one. It's got some pretty significant wear there. These run a very tight tolerance, so whenever you got one that you can physically see it rocking like that, you know that it's going to be pretty well worn and need replacement.